All right. So here's the thing. There were a ton of fights announced yesterday. I thought it was like some type of April Fool's joke. It was just fights everywhere being announced. Now, one of the fights, though, that was announced wasn't actually a real one. John Jones teased going up to heavyweight to take on former UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic. And people got excited, me included.
Yeah.
Because the talk about John going to heavyweight, we've been going through this for years. I mean, here's the reason. He was a champion at light heavyweight in his mid-20s. He's 6'4". So he has the size and frame of a heavyweight already.
And he's into bodybuilding.
So yes. I think we all know it's inevitable.
And him and Stipe in particular for that matchup, they walk around probably roughly the same size.
Probably the same size. So it's not going to be as if somebody thinks it's a big deal, it's not going to be as big a deal as you think it is for John.
No, because Stipe is not like Ngannou where he comes down from, 2.
Or Derek Lewis.
Yeah, Derek Lewis come down from 280.
That's or Brock. Because Brock comes down from like 275, 280 if he competes.
No, Stipe and John are roughly the same size if you just catch them on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's
a little bigger.
Yes, Stipe get to eat a little bit more when in training camp. So, but that fight's not happening.
Right.
Because John teased that in the morning, and then I swear to you, 3 to 4 hours later, the UFC officially announced that the date that John was talking about, he's fighting Thiago Santos. So this is actually International Fight Week in Las Vegas. It's the biggest weekend of the year for MMA, and Thiago deserves it. John has pretty much cleaned out the division at this point, man. I mean, John has beaten Daniel Cormier twice, even though the second one was taken back because of the drug test.
Well, and let's be realistic. John could go on, 12-day fast and fight at 185, and he'll be the best at 185, right? Like John is the best fighter alive according to all information. So he has cleaned out every division. We just want to see him do interesting stuff because at light heavyweight there doesn't seem to be anyone that can compete with him legitimately.
Yeah, I mean, the only guy I still have a question about, and I haven't seen enough of him yet to really say, I have a legitimate question, is Johnny Walker.
I don't think Johnny Walker is. I don't think so. I think
I just haven't seen enough yet.
Yeah,
I think it's very much an incomplete.
Well, let's go by what Dana says. People ask about Johnny Walker versus John Jones because it makes sense. Walker's exciting. He's doing great things. He's young, blah, blah, blah. And Dana basically said, let's not ruin this kid.
No,
let's give him
the same thing. Johnny said the same thing. They asked Johnny at this last card because he jumped on the card with John, and they said, "Are you ready now?" He said, "No, not now." He said, "I need more fights." He said, "But I told him I'm coming for him." He said, "But I know I need more fights."
Yeah.
So he's realistic. He knows, but from a skill set and a size standpoint and an athleticism standpoint, the base is there for it to at least be interesting.
Oh, for sure. In 2 years, he needs 2
years.
I
would say that's about right.
Yeah, 2 years of in octagon experience, in cage experience. Because honestly, I think he needs to fight a few people with a few different styles. Because John is. I mean, obviously, we said so already. He's a monster. Yes. John is good at everything.
Yes.
Like John basically has no weaknesses.
He does.
So Walker needs to see other phases of the game before he gets into John. But I'm with you. John versus Stipe would be amazing. John versus Santos, it is what it is. If John fights anybody in his division, MMA, anything can happen, but chances are it's going to be another John Jones fight. It'll be fun because it's like watching Jordan, beat up on the Cavaliers, but you never thought Jordan was going to lose. You still watch it because it's Jordan, right?
Right.
That's what John is right now. John's Jordan. I'm going to watch it because it's John.
Yeah.
If he loses, I'm damn surprised. I don't expect surprises stuff.
But right, you like you said, it's MMA and anything can happen.
Yeah.
And Thiago is definitely an anything can happen kind of guy because he is one of the most deadly strikers I have seen. I'm talking about Thiago Santos is one of those strikers that when he hits somebody, it scares you, especially if it's a kick, because he generates so much torque and explosiveness. But I think he's too small because he came up from middleweight. I think he's too small, and I have seen him subdued and controlled by wrestlers and submission practitioners that I don't consider on John's level. So, and that happened at middleweight. So I that's why I hesitate to say, but like you said, this is MMA and anything can happen. And this dude definitely has the power.
Because John is so comfortably a light heavyweight, I honestly don't like anybody in the history of the UFC moving up to fight John.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody. Well, I can't think of anybody in the history of the UFC that I would favor in a fight against a mentally fit and physically fit John Jones.
Yeah, you gotta prove that.
Nobody. Like, so,
but even if you take a guy like, say, a GSP, who GSP's world class, right? Pound for pound, you can have the discussion.
He's top 3 or 4.
Right. But GSP's too short.
Yeah, but GSP, you talking about jumping a whole bunch, because GSP's his best weight is welterweight. That's 170. Yeah, no. It's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out.